David Darcy, who joins Ian Day, who now picks up the call.
Thank you, Peter. Good evening, everybody. 6-3 to 5-2. The Dogs went into attack again through Nolan, who's also playing well, and a throw in the left forward pocket. 21 is Bytheen, Honour. Brady over the top, well done. Coffey through, nowhere to go. Now Flintoff needs support, gets it back to Little, out wider still Krieg. Krieg under pressure, South Adelaide defence standing well at the moment as Kapler, that is David Kapler, gets it out to his brother Darren. Off go the Kapler brothers along, one to the half-forward line. Hewitt comes to meet it, Bennett is the shepherder. Hewitt out there under pressure, has to wobble the ball clear, but he can't get an effective handball away, and it goes out of play on the half-forward left flank. 13 minutes gone, second half. The Dogs 6-3, South Adelaide 5-2.
Dogs got away to a good start tonight. They led 4-1 to 2 goals at quarter time, and there was just 6 points separating the two sides at half-time. 6-2 to 5-2. They've stretched that lead by just 1 point at the moment, as Buckley picks up on the half-back flank. Did it well. The kick not well directed, however, and David Kapler in the way. His handball puts a teammate under pressure. Flintoff it was. Got it over to Trimbali. Trimbali, Walters on the lead. Is it Coffey? It's Coffey at centre half forward. And the big fella for the first time tonight, out in front of Brooksby, takes the mark. Coffey, who's booted one, came in the second quarter. A great chance now to bring up his second. And it's only his second kick for the evening. Philip Brooksby playing very well at full-back. Second mark to Grant Coffey. A very important kick for him. 14 minutes gone in the third quarter, and a very important kick for the Dogs. He puts it on its way. He's made no mistake. 7-3 now, Centrals. South Adelaide 5-2. The difference 13 points.
And in fact, that was the first goal before the quarter. And Coffey's an interesting player. We picked him out last week for you. I think he's just lacking a little bit in strength at this stage, but I think he's only 19, and he's going to be around for a long time. He's got a lot of ability, and when he picks up a bit of strength and a little bit more experience, I feel sure that he's going to be a very good player.
Bytheen in ruck against Christie. 15 minutes gone. Christie backhands the ball towards centre wing. Little through, couldn't get it. Krieg in. With him there is Dewhurst. 3 is Wall, but the umpire will come in to bounce. Umpires Rick Charlesworth in charge, and with him Colin Ricketts. The bounce favours Bytheen. Trimboli playing centre, gets it to Coffey. An acrobatic attempt to mark, might have been paid. Krieg now hooks the ball in towards Coffey. Brooksby lumbers to meet the ball out in front of Coffey, close to the line, and he's quite happy to see it go out. Didn't make a great attempt to keep it in play, and making his way onto the field for the first time this evening is Mark Pittman, and he's going to replace Peter Krieg.
Throw in from the left forward pocket. It's O'Neill. Wall runs it clear. Stephen Barrett. Flanked by Honour, and the Panthers are out of trouble as he kicks towards centre half forward. Nailey in front. And a well-judged mark taken by Scott Lee. Lee will repulse this forward move by the Panthers and put the Dogs back into attack towards centre half forward. Wall from behind, taken out of the air by Flintoff. Gets tripped and must get the free kick. Flintoff was off. It was an accidental trip, but the free kick was there. Now Flintoff is only 40 metres out. Kick 1 in the first quarter. This will be his 7th kick. Very tall rover, recruited to the Dogs from Hawthorn. Platten went to the Hawks, of course, and Flintoff transferred this side of the border. Will this be his second goal? Very little breeze to affect the kick. It's a drop punt, just drifting offline, and 1 point only. So 7-4 the Dogs. South Adelaide 5-2 as we approach the 17-minute mark of the third quarter.
It's a great shot of that kick there as Rick Davies gives some directions there. He kicked 3 goals last week, Flintoff, in a good debut for South Adelaide. For Central District, should I say. Troy has got the ball. Left half-back flank. Big leap from behind with a big punch from David Buckley from the Dogs, but it's come out towards Bytheen. He knocks it over the top, but it went out of bounds beforehand. The Dogs 7-4, South Adelaide 5-2. Escort Cup 7 Sport live from Football Park. There's Bytheen, 31. Christie, a double-handed push. Only as far as Pittman. He just came onto the ground. There's Flintoff again. Well tackled indeed. As we see Michael Bennett also well tackled. That's holding the ball. And Dogs are tackling well, and they're playing in this third quarter like they did last week. They opened up a big break last week against the Eagles. There's a good smother on that occasion. The face in the crowd, that is Sneezer himself. And, gee, they would certainly love him to be back. Renz Bays is the man on his left. 18 minutes into this third quarter now. The Dogs leading by 14 points. The handball comes out. Through Pryor, the Dogs go into attack. Gee, there's no one home for them. Over the top the ball goes. O'Neill again. Here's a chance for Coffey. How good is he? Oh, how good's the tackle? Push in the back, the umpire has called it. Colin Ricketts has come in. He had a good view of that. The tackle looked good. There wasn't a lot of forward movement in that tackle. There didn't appear to be. There it is. Oh, a tough one to call. Perhaps that's a play-on call, that one. Perhaps it's a play-on call. Might get a comment from Ian Day in a moment about that. She missed it. Well, perhaps that's poetic justice here.
Yes, Peter. I agree it was a difficult one for the umpire, and of course making it so close to goals makes it worse if you're the defending player. But an umpire shouldn't worry about where you are on the field when giving a decision. Now, if he's consistent with it all night, fair enough. But on that occasion, he ruled that the tackle was in the back, and fortunately for South Adelaide, the player missed. Naily, he seems to be pushed underneath the ball, and umpire Ricketts, being consistent with the push in the back, although that one is in the back pocket, gives Mark Naily the free kick. Gee, booted a brilliant goal in the second quarter. In fact, he got 2. This is his 6th kick. Apart from that, he hasn't had a big night. Christie, this fellow improves with every game, and he's now developing into a very good ruckman indeed for the Panthers as he fires the ball up towards Stokel on the half-forward line. Here's a chance for Russell if he can pick it up, but the ball beats him out of play. 7-5 to 5-2. We've played 19 minutes plus of the second half. You are with the Escort Cup on 7.
Bytheen. Michael Bennett left it behind. Joe Trimboli fighting hard for the Dogs. Can't get it clear. Neither can Mark Pittman. Umpire Charlesworth to bounce. 15 points separating the two sides as we approach the 20-minute mark of this third quarter. Bytheen over the top of Stokel. Craig Dewhurst for the Panthers came on in the third term. David Buckley and Brendan Little there for the Dogs. Nobody could control it. Again it's Stokel taking front position. Got his hand on that one. Dewhurst tried to backhand it. Troy trying to burst clear but couldn't. Held, says the umpire, and he'll take the free kick. That'll break the scrimmage up and play just for the moment a little untidy. Number 10 now for Darren Troy. Very stockily built. Had 6 handballs to boot. And 4 marks. Played pretty well, Troy. That's a well-directed pass. It's at half-forward, and Stephen Russell, the new man on the ground, has it. Dewhurst into the pocket. It's a bit long for him. Glenn Hewitt's there. Cleverly done by Hewitt. Gets it over the top to Bennett. Bennett in trying to get it back to Dewhurst. Can't succeed. And the Bulldogs are out of trouble as the pass has been marked on the line by Stephen Nolan.
Well, one gets the feeling that it's going to be a hectic last quarter. We saw some great football last weekend, and I think we're going to see it again this weekend. We're into time on now as Fairclough marks and passes off to Naily. He got it out just in time. Butler's the running player. Oh, good mark there, and strong pair of hands, Stokel. David Stokel kicked a goal in the first quarter. Hewitt's on the lead. Stokel saw it, puts the ball out pretty well, but Bytheen cuts it off. Free kick against Hewitt for interference on Bytheen. Now Hull took the handball from Bytheen, and it goes out wide towards Pittman. Mark Pittman, who I thought played pretty well last week, but he started on the bench. Perhaps he may be suffering from some little injury. Trimboli, left foot, Coffey, or had his front spot taken by the South defender there. Brooksby, the whistle is gone. The kick in danger, and it will go to Brooksby. He passes off short, looking for David Kapler. He marks and then has the ball punched away from him. Here's a chance now. Pittman goes short. The kick smothered. Brooksby again. He's a long way out from full back. Here's a chance though for South. As through Christie they go forward again.
Christie lopes over the centre line, or left the footy behind. Fortunately, Troy backs up, puts out a pass. Oh, gee, that's a daisy cutter. No hope for his forwards. Coming through and doing it well from the back line is Scott Lee. Drives to the vacant centre wing spot. The bounce could determine here. Nolan out in front. If he can pick the footy up, John's there with him. A line ball with two, and umpire Ricketts says it's a high tackle. A high tackle favours the South player, the check side of centre wing. Must be very close now to three-quarter time. The first two quarters were 21 minutes only. The second half has time on applied. Plus he's 15 metres. Now it's the attack side of centre wing as he drives towards the half-forward line to Stokel. Can't get there. Rowe back in defence. Supported by Thomas. Hooks blindly back towards centre wing. It's all South Adelaide. Siren sounds. It's three-quarter time in the Escort Cup at Football Park, and Central District 7-5 leading South Adelaide 5-2. The goal kickers 2 three-quarter time. The Dogs 2, Nolan, Flintoff, Bytheen, O'Neill and Walters 1 each. And for South Adelaide, Nayley has 2, Simpson, Christie and Stokel 1 each. Just repeating, Central District 7-5, South Adelaide 5-2.
Very easy goal that cost them badly, I think.
On the free kick, Nolan got away a couple of times, as he did on that occasion. A good running goal, but we see Christie and Ruck there. That was beautifully done. Of course, the Nayley kick from that point not terribly effective, but there hasn't been a lot of free running in the game, except Nayley, Bob, got away a couple of times in the second quarter.
That was beautiful, wasn't it? That was one goal. That's enough to set any team going. And, of course, South are also playing at centre Darren Troy. We saw him play back pocket, but Shane Butler's got that position. So Troy's in the centre of the ground. They're obviously going for a little bit of strength, and here's Central District's going into attack. They did it quite well, and that's big Michael O'Neill, big policeman. He's been certainly a strength for them. They're going for a bit of height and power in the ruck. Obviously, Kevin Neal's decided that both Bytheen and O'Neill have got to do a big job. He's going to keep them on the ground, if tonight's any indication, to keep the pressure on the opposition.
Certainly needs to. Cowboy Neal would be well aware that last week at three-quarter time, I think they led by Torrens by about 4 goals. Now, they lead by 15 points at this point, and they couldn't go on with it.
No, they weren't all that good that quarter either. I remember at one stage during the quarter, South Adelaide were going to attack unopposed down the outer side of the ground, and David Kapler picked up a ball and miscued a handball and allowed Central to go back in and kick a goal. There was 1 goal the difference, and if that, South kicked the goal, it's all square at three-quarter time. So, I mean, it's as close as that. I mean, one error is the difference in the game at the moment.
There's not much in it, of course. South Adelaide without 2 key forwards, Rick Davies and John Sneebickler, but you play with what you've got. And the great thing about the game of football, at the beginning of the season, all sides are equal, aren't they? And everyone's got the opportunity to go on with it.
They sure have. And of course, the sun goes down here at Football Park, just the slightest shining of rays just shining on the top of the outer side of the ground. Beautiful sight up here it is for us. We're high up in the grandstand, and it's an absolutely glorious night. Anyone who's contemplating coming down shouldn't think twice about it. It's a beautiful night here at Football Park.
Yes, it's Escort Cup, live on 7 Sport. We'll pick up the last quarter now. Your commentator is Ian Day.
James A. Fitzpatrick Odie down there. Well done, Robert. Yes, the final quarter of the Escort Cup, 7-5 the Dogs, South 5-2. The Panthers kicking to the attacking end with the breeze, or it has been. South through Stephen Barrett towards centre wing. The bounce should decide. Ryan gets there first. Walters the tackler as he paddles the ball towards the line. Hasn't got any support at the moment. He's got to go for the safety of the line as 3 Dogs chase him towards that spot. 7-5 to 5-2. Final quarter. Ideal conditions now. As the sun goes down, it's getting a little cooler for the players, and that wind spring up late in the afternoon was certainly a godsend. Shields backhands the ball towards Walters, can't get it. Flintoff takes a Panther down, and Fairclough will get a free kick from the half-back flank.
One of the many Panther fans here tonight, and they would be hoping they can rally in this last quarter and turn this 15-point deficit into a victory. They kicked 18-3 last week, magnificent effort. And they've kicked 5 goals out of 7 scoring shots tonight. So they've certainly got their right kicking boots on. Bulldogs come out of defence. The kick towards centre wing. O'Neill was from behind. Nayley left it behind. Paul Ryan in there for the Panthers. He can't get it clear. And there'll be a bounce. Peter Collins on the ground for the Dogs at the moment. The bounce is on centre wing, grandstand side. 15 points separating the 2 sides. O'Neill, a big thump forward. Tapped on by Shields. Brady in there, but loses it to Butler. Darren Kapler takes it, shows his speed. That's a good kick into the open spaces, giving Stokel the opportunity, but good defensive work again from Buckley forces it out of play. Almost 2 minutes gone in the final quarter, and still the Dogs by 15 points.
Stokel to do the right work. Christie will stay back in the behind play against O'Neill, who tapped it out. Pittman towards Brady. Stephen Barrett. Christie hooks high towards the half-forward line. Hearn did that well. The Thumpet gives a chance to Collins. Nolan can't get it clear. Yes, he can now. The handball over is good. Brendan Little, a chance now to send the Dogs into attack out wide. Out there is Bytheen, makes a metre to get there. Can't get to it before the ball goes out of play, and it's a throw-in on the half-forward left flank.
I know the Cowboy wasn't too pleased with the Bulldogs' performance last week. He's still looking a little concerned at the moment. He thought that their effort last week was very disappointing. He felt that they have a very good side in Elizabeth this year, and he expected better things from them. Well, he's not getting it. They're in front at the moment. The lead is 15 points. And the question to be asked now is whether they can hang on to that lead. Buckley's helping them do that. Good defence at the moment. This will be his 10th kick. Directs it wide. Nailey in front of Rowe on that occasion. And the little bloke takes the mark. That's his third. 7 kicks. Hewitt's on a lead. That's ignored. Nailey going for distance. Puts it in high. Big Stokel's in there, but it's well-fisted clear by O'Neill. Bennett the crumbs. Zigzags, puts himself very close to the line, centres the ball in towards the square. 2-on-1 back there. Hewitt the opportunity at the back. Fumbles, however, and the ball is forced out of play in that left forward pocket. So 3.5 minutes gone, and still the Dogs by 15 points.
Glenn Hewitt joined the 300 club last week, and he's been a great player for many years. Taken off the pack beautifully by Stokel, but the snap away is inaccurate. Only the point. So South Adelaide peppering away. They've got a deficit, 14 points at this stage, and I've got a feeling they're going to get a bit closer.
The big fellow's done it pretty well. He's played in ruck, in defence, and at centre half forward, and looks like to have some talent. Nolan, the ball out of play. 4 minutes gone, final quarter. The Dogs by 14 points in a low-scoring game. What's the coach thinking? Like to be out there, I would think. Dewhurst came on in the second half, got quite a few kicks in that third quarter, but that one wasn't a very good one. Goes out on the full, and it's Jamie Thomas to get the penalty free kick back into play from the half-back line. Kick number 11, Thomas. He's done very well. 3 marks and 5 handballs. Not a bad performance from a back pocket player. Going to edge the ball out of defence along the outer side. He's got O'Neill back centre field. He'll get the leap away. In front, Stokel, good mark. Or is it Christie? Christie it is. And he'll put the Panthers back into attack.
They need to get a bit of a rush on. Almost 5 minutes gone. Still a deficit is 14 points. Andrew Simpson not as prominent tonight as he was last week. A handball in the direction of Pittman. Loses it to Ryan. Ryan well tackled. Now a foot off the ground, but only as far as Scott Lee in defence. He'll relieve the pressure for the Dogs. Sets off. 1 bounce and then a kick. Looking for Walters. Kapler, who's played, Darren Kapler that is, played very well. Brother David hands it off to Ryan. Paul Ryan from centre half forward. Is this the goal the Panthers are looking for? It is. Oh, that's a good one. They need it. The first to Ryan. They're 6-3, trailing the Dogs 7-5.
Oh, that was a top goal. He's only played 12 senior games, Paul Ryan. That was his 8th kick, and I like the way he ran through the centre there. He really meant business. He knew exactly what he wanted. He wanted 6 points for the Panthers, and he got just that. And they're only 8 points down now. And I tell you what, they're setting it up for a pretty hectic last quarter.
Peter, their first goal since the second quarter. A long time between drinks. 8 points. Christie again. Nailey around the corner. Hearn comes to meet it and takes a safe defensive mark. Elects to come out wide to grandstand side. Scott Lee's there. A chance for the Dogs to run it into attack now as he bolts off. Bounds over the half forward or half back line. Beats Bennett. Drives a long one. Not well directed. A chance for Stephen Barrett to take the easy chest mark. How often do you see a defender have a couple of bounces and when he gets a bit of pressure on, doesn't kick well and kicks it straight to the opposition? On that occasion, that's what happened. centre wing. Well done. Got it out now to Pittman. A high kick to the half-forward line. Bytheen in there. Can't bring it down. Walters through. Lost it. South kick it away through Honour. Out towards the half-back flank. Good shepherding. Enables Ryan to get the ball back. Now it's Fairclough. He's got to change tack to get it back to Honour, and it's a high tackle against the South Adelaide player in Kepler, and a free kick is going the way of the Dogs to be taken by Collins in the right forward pocket. He goes for the short pass into the pocket, looking there for Flintoff. I don't think that was the player that he was looking for. He just faded in there like a phantom and took an excellent mark 30 metres out on a 45-degree angle. He's booted one. 8 kicks. The umpire sending him further around. Player of promise, this young fellow. The former Hawthorn man to the southern end. Who hooks the ball across the face of goal after that big wrap-up and only manages a point. 7-6 to 6-3, the Dogs lead.
David Flintoff, very tall rover, showing a lot of promise early in the season in these Escort Cup matches. Free kick over the shoulder to Michael Bennett. Speculation early in the week whether Michael Bennett would play for South Adelaide. It's great to see him out there tonight. It's his 10th kick towards half-forward, looking for the big fella Stokel. Dewhurst, flanked by David Kaplan. He's going to be run down, loses it. Chance for the Dogs now. Off goes Lee. 2 bounces. Looks to set up the plays. He gets it over the top to Rowe. Rowe almost run down by Nail. He puts one on its way from behind. Oh, good mark. Great mark in defence down there by Stephen Barrett.
He's played well, David.
He has indeed, Ian. Couldn't cement a place in the Glenelg side. And that was a great mark. Caught one as he was on the ground too. How often do we see that? A player who really can't make it at one side, go to another and become a star. Nailey not happy with that decision, neither the South Adelaide fans, but it's gone to Pryor. Pryor will put the Dogs into attack. Brooksby from behind should mark and does on his chest. Now the Panthers trail by 9 points. Only 9 minutes gone in this third quarter, and Peter, they really have to rally quickly.
They certainly do, David, and I think some of the players out there, particularly South players, think that Colin Ricketts just hasn't got that push in the back judgment right, nor judgment of marks. Sneeze is having his say about the whole thing as Brendan Little puts the Dogs forward. A chance for Bytheen in front. Too strong in the body. Would not let the South defender get near that ball, Bytheen. He's a very, very strong man. Notwithstanding his strengths, he's only taken 2 marks tonight. But this will be his 8th kick. No, that's pulled way across to the left. No mark there in the square, and Bytheen brings up a point only. So Central District 7-7, the Panthers 6-3.
The breeze favouring the end to which South is kicking. That's the north end. And it looks like it's gusting up a little bit. The kick into Nailey. Oh, he's going to be run down. Lee. Nailey recovered well. Slips out the handball. Off the half-back line, Butler. Goes to Bennett. Oh, gave him a chance. Couldn't handle it. Back to Bennett. Now Kapler. Oh, he's got to try to pick it up. Does it well. Barrett over the half-forward line. Now Ryan. South heading into attack with a series of handballs. Stokel half-forward line. Fairclough. 30 metres out. All caught on the left leg. Got nowhere to go. Hooks it back. Oh, what a brilliant goal, David Fairclough. Thought he was gone for all money. His first. Kick number 7. Did it brilliantly. And South right back in the act, but still trail 7-3 to 7-7.
Magic passage of football this by the Panthers. I thought they'd overdone the handball. Stokels was a bit low, and Fairclough was forced into the pocket, but that's a brilliant snap and a very vital goal to the Panthers as we approach the 11-minute mark. And Cowboy, what are you thinking at the moment? The lead is 4 points. Can they hang on?
Escort Cup live on 7 Sport, coming to you from Football Park, and we're going to see another great finish tonight. There's certainly been some great footy. Christie going back to take the free kick. There's not a bad crowd here. It's Ryan's free kick, and Ryan has had a couple of purple patches in this match. Gee, they're taking him right back to centre half forward. So Ryan will drop that one in long. Big pack of players. Simons it was who picks it up. He's a strong man. No free kick in there. It comes off hands. Nailey. He let it go. It's come back. South still in control. Now Kepler, the kick away is under pressure, and he's kicked it out on the full. Oh, that was as close as you'd ever get. Gee, Nayley thought the ball was going to go through. Just have a look at Nayley's judgment. Initially, he thought it was going to go through, and he let it go, but the ball bounced just inside the line, and it went straight over his head. So South still trail by 4 points in, and the feeling they're going to make a game of it, though, somehow or other.
Oh, it's a game, all right, Peter. Only 4 points the difference, 12 minutes gone. The Dogs hanging in there desperately. South kicking with the breeze. O'Neill tapped it back cleverly, couldn't find a teammate, and the ball went out of play. A throw in on the half-forward left flank. The Dogs got beaten in a close one last week by the point. Can't come any closer. Actually, I think O'Neill hooked that one back to Collins. Pryor. Over the top, Ryan, a good-looking player, this fellow. Shields allows Collins through, but it's taken now brilliantly by Troy. Bennett over the half-forward line. He steadies, goes for home with a long one. I think he's hit the post. Oh, I was going to say the Panthers are in front. Davies can't believe it. Neither can yours truly. 1 point only, 3 points the difference here at Football Park. You're with the Escort Cup on 7.
Excitement running supreme at the moment as the kick in to the outer side lobs in the arms of big Michael O'Neill. 3 points the difference as O'Neill kicks towards the centre of the ground from behind. It was Brendan Little. Oh, the free kick should have gone Troy's way, wasn't played. Picked up by David Kepler, bangs a long one in towards the goals. Oh, what a goal! What a magnificent performance from David Kepler. 60 metres out, his ninth kick, his first goal, and the Panthers have hit the front.
Gee, David, I think you might be a bit conservative.
I reckon he is too, Peter.
I tell you what, I reckon, have a look at where he is. This is from the goals. He would be 20 metres inside the square and took 3 paces.
Peter, I don't know. I think Football Park's, what, about 175 or 170 metres long?
It would be.
In my reckoning, that kick has got to be all of 75, 80 metres.
I'll go along with you. What an amazing kick, and it's put them in front. In fact, they are 3 points in front, South, and they appear to me to have the run of the game. Can the Dogs come back? 14 minutes in, Cowboy Neil would be very well aware of the situation last week. He's still on the boil from last week, in fact. That hurt him, that defeat, and I think that he's given the players plenty during the week. In fact, I know he has. Bennett hooks it over the shoulder. South Adelaide playing well. They've got players around the ball. Nayley's in there fighting for it, but the umpire is going to bounce it in the centre half-forward spot.
14 minutes gone. Supporter not looking as happy as he was about 10 minutes ago. South starting to lift with the last brilliant goal. Here's a chance now for them as they go into the pocket. Out comes Simpson, can't keep it in play, and the ball tumbles out in the right forward pocket. 8-4 to 7-7 after the Dogs have led all night. What a goal. Flint off, dragged when he didn't have it. I think they'll let them play on as they come out over the half-back line through Collins, but it's been taken by Barrett. Barrett asked to play on by the umpire, turns in a circle, the hook's back towards the half-forward line, and a fine mark being taken there in defence by Little. I think he's been paid the out-of-bounds on the full in any case, and looks like the Cowboys going for the statistics at the moment.
Peter Vivian alongside of him is Rick Davies. Looks very pensive at the moment. Must feel now that the Panthers got a great chance. They lead by 3 points. They've come from behind and they've done it well. 16 minutes almost into this final quarter, and the ball once again to be thrown in on that outer side. Bytheen, this crowd building up, and a great match to follow. The Bays and Torrens. Paul Weston for the first time against his old side. Brenton Honor takes it out of the air. His hurried kick bounces close to the line, and there'll be a throw in once more. So 7-7 the Dogs. South Adelaide 8-4 as we approach the 16-minute mark of the final term.
Can the Dogs come back? Cowboy Neil would be most intent on a better last quarter than last week. Through Ryan, South try and come away with it. Nayley it is. Gets it out to Troy. He's a tough man. Puts it up to centre half forward. The big leap from behind. No mark taken on that occasion. The player was Simons. Central District though. The handball from Hull. Not a good one. Jamie Thomas steadies though. He goes short. Can the Dogs come back? Fairclough used the body well. Then dropped the mark. And then got a free kick for a push in the back. Well, he's off. Umpire Ricketts says go back. 13th kick coming up from Fairclough. He's had 2 marks and 3 handballs, so he's been reasonably active. He always has been able to get his fair share of the ball, though, Fairclough. They're going with the breeze. A long kick from Fairclough. He's offline, though. It'll go over the top for a point. So South stretch that lead to 4 points, 8-5 to 7-7.
Only one straight kick, the difference. 17 minutes gone, so we've got 4 minutes of actual playing time plus time on. Still plenty of the time for the Dogs to get up and win. Good mark, Troy. Bennett over the half-forward line. Bennett has to go out on a tangent, puts out the pass. Naily on the lead. South starting to do it well now, playing with confidence. Oh, the Wrigley's is going in Rick Davies' mouth there, and the Cowboy can't believe it. Can he play 2 in 2 weeks? Naily, brilliant speed. He's only 35 metres out. It's his 4th mark and 9th kick. Towards the lake end, kick underway. Oh, he's hooked that one badly offline. Not happy with his performance, neither with the South supporters. A point only. South 8-6, the Dogs 7-7.
18 minutes gone in the final term. Another bad miss by Mark Naily. But that's behind him now as the ball goes out to the outer side, fisted away by Stephen Russell. Bytheen using his bolt. Neither can control the ball. 5 points the difference. South in front. The Bulldogs managing just 2 points so far in this quarter in 18 minutes of play. They've stopped, and they did it the same last week, and they got run over by the Eagles. It's the Panthers' turn tonight, and they lead at the moment by 3 points. Big Christie done a very workmanlike job for South Adelaide. The lead is 5 points, not 3, as I said. And now they need Christie again. But the ball, the bounce favours Bytheen. Pittman took it, gave it over the top to Lee. Here's a chance for the Dogs. Lee goes short and finds Nolan just on the attacking side of centre. Nolan towards centre half forward, the ball holding up in the breeze, and it's all South Adelaide as Brenton Honor gets out in front and takes a fine relieving mark.
Well, there's only 1 kick in it. 5 points is the deficit. The Dogs only need to go forward once for a goal, and they're in front. Great tackle on Butler. The umpire says holding the ball. Mark Pryor's free kick. Wilbur Wilson. Gee, would they love him out there. He can kick goals. 1 kick, 1 goal, Wilbur. That's all the percentage he needs. Now Bytheen, who has been reasonably effective this evening, kicks it up to centre half forward. O'Neill is there, but he's behind. Not the place to be. Went through Butler. Brenton Honor fights for it on the ground, but there'll be a bounce. So says umpire Colin Ricketts. Just on the defence side of centre half forward. Good crowd in, building up. Of course, the big game later on this evening, Glenelg and Torrens. But the action now is with Mark Naily. That was around the neck. There was also some holding the ball in it. Perhaps it may have been a play-on job. There's a play-on. He certainly had the ball a little bit before the tackle, but the tackle was wrong, no doubt about that. In front, not paid. Now Brooksby, tough as you like, the kick away, Hearn, he's in the centre of the ground. Cowboy wants a goal. Peter Creek's got the ball now, he's strong and tough this year, he puts it out wide, ill-directed over the top, Stephen Barrett with the run of the ball. Dewhurst is on his own, now Darren Kapler tries to get past his opponent and does so. Dewhurst with the run of it, oh, courage Dewhurst, he kept his head down in, and I'll tell you what, that took a lot.
Yes, Peter, that would have hurt, but he did it well. He kept the ball in the area at the time, and what's more, he's won a free kick for a high tackle. The handball over goes to the long-kicking Kapler. He doesn't let his side down. He heaves a ground-covering kick right up towards full forward. Off the fingers first there is Stokel. Can't get the handball out. Krieg goes in, Buckley with him, and the umpire will come in and bounce the ball 30 metres out in front. 7-7 to 8-6. Time on, starting about now. The tap away. Here's a chance. Fairclough puts it on his boot, and I think he's made it a goal, an even goal. And that means Centrals are going to have to score twice now to win the game. 8-7 plays 7-7.
Yes, it is going to be hard now for the Dogs to get up and win it. They can only manage 2 points to date. They need more than a goal now to win the game. Oh, the kick's not well directed. The big fella Christie has it. and he'll put South Adelaide right back into the square. The lead from Big Stokel. Here's a chance. Bennett picks it up. Michael Bennett can seal it here as he snaps with his left foot in towards the goal. But good defence again from Hull, and he's forced it wide off Simons and out of play. So 6 points as we're in time on. We've played about a minute of that. Throw in. Stokel from behind. It was Bytheen that got the tap, but only as far as Simpson. Hending close to the pocket, shoots back towards goal. But he's offline, and that's a valuable point to the Panthers as they go clear now by 7 points.
Rick Davies looks reasonably confident there, but if the Dogs go down quickly and get one, there's still a chance. Although they haven't really played that well. Coffey coming back on. He's the man that could grab one. Nolan from behind. Can't take the mark, and it's pushed out of bounds. So we'll see a throw in. Left half forward flank for South Adelaide. Grant Coffey, the man who's kicked two. One in the second, one in the third. In fact, he's not going to full forward. He's probably on the ball. The man coming off was Peter Collins. The free kick, though, Bytheen's way. Plays it on. 23 minutes gone. Pittman's kick falls short. Christie takes the mark, and Christie Ian has played very well.
As I mentioned earlier, Peter, he's developing into a very fine player, and that's his 8th mark as he shoots the ball back. Bytheen spoils. Here's a chance. Troy got it. Shoots in long. This is going to be a goal. Oh, touched right on the line by Hull. Gee, that was close. I would think just a half a metre in it, but it's still another point to South Adelaide, and the valuable seconds tick away. 8 goals, 9 to 7-7.
Not easy sitting on the sideline, as exemplified by the look on the face of Rick Davies. Chance for the Dogs now. This is a good build-up. Thomas has it at centre wing, needs support, or runs back into trouble. Gets it over the top to Lee. Lee's under pressure now, and South Adelaide will get clear. Dewhurst taps it on. The handball from Johns goes back to Ryan. Been a good player tonight. Ryan drives towards full forward. Out came Hull, fisted it clear, and the ball very close to the line, in fact out of play. Panthers look as though they've got this wrapped up now, and the Cowboy feeling very dejected at the moment. 8 points the difference. Davies happy. Bracegirdle alongside of him would be 2. Stokel, Hearn left it behind. Michael Bennett has it in the pocket or needs help. Gets it back. The big fella's got it, trying to get through was David Stokel. Pulled off the ball, and Mark Pryor will get the free kick.
Well, the Dogs still in it, but only just. They need to score twice. A long kick out of defence. No, the siren's gone. So 2 victories in a row to the Panthers. Rick Davies terribly happy. The final score here, South Adelaide 8-9, Central District 7-7. And Ian Day, South not having scored in that third quarter, I guess would have started the last quarter somewhat apprehensively.
Peter, I agree with what Robert Odie said at half-time. South Adelaide didn't look nearly as impressive this week as they did last week. They didn't handle the ball with as much assurance. They didn't move it well, but we thought that was possibly due to the brilliant Dog defence. But when Christie got right on top in centre field, Nailey, Dewhurst and the Kapler brothers and also Troy came right into it, and South Adelaide looked a lot better unit in that final quarter. And can I say that from the final quarter, once it got started, I didn't think that South Adelaide were ever going to lose it.
No, they look pretty good. I'd agree with that, Ian. So a great game. South Adelaide winning their second Escort Cup game. South 8-9, Central District 7-7. The scoreline at the end of the first quarter, 4-1 to 2 goals in Central's favour. Then 6-2 to 5-2. 7-5 to 5-2, and they won finally by 57 to 49. That is 8 points, a great victory. So you're watching Escort Cup. A big story, except that South took 10 more marks and had 22 more handballs. Well, there is a story there, isn't there?
There sure is. I think that South put it together better in the last quarter. Once their ball handling became a little bit shorter and under pressure, it seemed to, when they needed the run of the game, they got it. They put themselves in, they took hold of the ball, they found bodies, and a couple of their runs through the half-forward line were reminiscent of last week, and of course that's what made them win the game.
Well, it's a great start to the season by South Adelaide, having won 2 on the trot now. Rick Davies very happy.